Welcome to Environmental Concerns, a weekly TV show sponsored by Breathe California, which is the lung health organization for the state of California. Most of Breathe California's programs are oriented towards helping people that have developed health problems from 13 different lung diseases, including COVID-19. But I try to focus this program on prevention. So today we're talking with Pete Christensen, who's the Clean Cities co-director, and he's going to talk about ways that we can reduce our pollution, and his program has had spectacular success already. So after this public service announcement, we'll be back with Pete Christensen.
The different therapeutic methods that we can help our very low socioeconomic status clients who have no alternatives, no anything, and there's still about 15 different resources we got out of this that if you have no resources, no service connection, you can still get aid.
That they are connected, one encourages the other, and that the process of change from backing off from the tobacco is the same as backing off from any other addictive drug.
Everyone can benefit from this training that we just were offered today. I would not take it back.
Welcome back. This is Environmental Concerns, a program by Breathe California. Each year we help about 100,000 people with breathing difficulties, or just to give them information. Pete and I each have our websites under our names, so feel free to check it out, or even better, call 408-998-5865 and volunteer. We need volunteers to help no matter where you are throughout Northern California. Pete, tell us a little bit about Clean Cities' successes.
Thank you. By the way, thank you for touching on volunteers. The lifeblood of any nonprofit are volunteers. They're so huge to our organization and all nonprofit organizations. You can look on the website, call the number in San Jose, and we'd love to have you help out, even if it's just a couple hours a week. Whether it's Silicon Valley Clean Cities or with Breathe California, the Bay Area, Golden Gate, and Central Coast. We also need interns. So for any college level people that happen to be watching, we always need interns. Interns are huge for organizations. Some are unpaid, a few are paid, but it looks good on your resume and you get a lot of great real world experience. And sorry, but I wanted to get a plug in for more volunteers and more interns, just to dovetail on what you were saying. So thank you for bringing that up, Terry.
So Pete, let me hope I didn't interrupt you there, but
no,
this show's been on for 33 years, and I've been working on environmental issues for 55 years, and I've had about 150 interns. And in particular, this show really could use interns to work with great guests like you to work up an agenda on what we talk about. I will confess that Pete had some frustration with my suggesting that we just would wing and act like we're old buddies and talk about things here. So tell us a little bit about cities are moving, I guess, with help from your organization towards cleaner energy, whether it be hybrid or all electric cars.
Yes, and I also do want to touch on, and that is our job. Again, as I mentioned in the last show, our mandate from the Department of Energy, who funds us via grant, is to reduce transportation-related greenhouse gases and air pollution. And again, we cover a 5-county area, not just Silicon Valley, which is, of course, Santa Clara County, but also San Mateo County, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Benito counties. And we have some impressive accomplishments. The other year, we reduced well over 20 million gallons of gasoline equivalent via alternative fuels, our alternative fuel vehicles, and idle reduction, and electric and plug-in vehicles, and hybrid vehicles. And that is what we do. We work with all our stakeholders in the area to transition to alternative clean fuel vehicles and to electric vehicles. At the same time, we reduced, we saved, well, actually, I should say we reduced greenhouse gas emissions by over 200,000 tons via the same thing, alternative fuel vehicles and idle reduction, and electric and plug-in vehicles and hybrid vehicles. So we have done a really great job, and we'll continue doing it as we go forward. We got a lot of great programs. We do trainings on everything from electric vehicles to renewable diesel, or it could be compressed natural gas, etc., biofuels. We do workshops, we do listening sessions. We're an information clearinghouse. If cities or consumers want to call and talk about a specific electric truck, or learn more about renewable diesel or whatever, call us. If we don't have the answer, we will find it for you. Okay. And also, since we are funded by the DOE, they support us through their vehicle technology office, and also through their various labs around the country. The National Renewable Energy Lab in Colorado, NREL, is a big support. They help us in many ways. Also, the different national laboratories, like Argonne National Laboratory and Oak Ridge National Lab. Also, the National Environmental Technology Laboratory, or the NETL. Actually, I think it's National Energy Technology. I might have made a faux pas on that. Sorry.
That's right.
But they support us. So what I'm leading to is that we are usually, if we don't know about certain grants for, say, alternative fuel vehicles or charging infrastructure or electric vehicles, we can find out about them fairly quickly and steer you to federal level grants, to put in charging infrastructure and other such things. So that's one of the many services we do. We are here to support all our customers. They are called stakeholders, and we got well over 200 stakeholders in this area on these 5 county areas, somewhere around 250, maybe 260. But we're here to support everyone in our area. They're all our customers, and we want to work together as much as we can to help reduce, again, transportation-related air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions.
So on this show, we've had a couple of your predecessors as directors of the Clean City program, and I remember one bragging about getting a local community college to train technicians to maintain electric vehicles. Do you know if that's still something that's been done?
I don't know about that specific program, honestly, but I do know that is very important. With the new regulations coming down from the California Air Resources Board, there's the transition to zero emission vehicles has been accelerated, and there's going to have to be a huge amount of training for all the fleet managers, for all the counties and all the cities and all the school districts, all the water districts, sanitation districts, and also the private fleets. But all these mechanics are going to have to be trained in dealing with electric vehicles, okay, and learning how to repair them and also do it safely too. So the community colleges and the local junior colleges and all the other types of colleges locally, and throughout California, of course, throughout the nation, are really going to have to get involved in that. They're the ones that can have to do that training, which is a great opportunity for them, but also a great challenge. But that's where the training needs to be done. So thank you for bringing that up. I apologize because I don't know about that specific program.
Well, we don't expect you to have remembered an encyclopedia of different related facts.
Yeah, I
So,
only have about half of an encyclopedia. I don't have a full encyclopedia.
yeah, well, I may um, infringe upon that remaining half again with this question.
Okay.
It's
Infringe ahead.
So it's absolutely imperative for electric vehicles to have adequate charging stations. It's easy for most of our listeners to be thinking about it from their own standpoint if they buy an electric vehicle. Do you have a sense that we're moving rapidly forward enough with charging stations to meet the demand for them?
That is the big question. That is one thing that holds back the adoption of electric vehicles. You know, that and the rebate process, which again, with the other organization I work with, helped to facilitate that process. And the price on some of the vehicles, though the price is coming down. Charging infrastructure is a big challenge. Fortunately, the IRA, the Reduction Act, I forget the Inflation Reduction Act, pardon me, I blanked on that for a second, from the federal government is really going to put billions of dollars through not only Department of Transportation, but also Department of Energy towards building charging infrastructures. And that goes back to the grants I was talking about. That money is starting to get funneled down to the states and down to the counties and the cities. And as that money comes in from the federal government, then you're going to see the expansion of the charging infrastructure and different types, whether fast charging or regular charging. There are challenges as far as in underserved areas, multifamily dwellings, apartment complexes. There is a lot of challenges to that, to getting charging infrastructure installed there. And I know there's various bills in the California Senate and Assembly that are trying to deal with that. One that I know of is Senate Bill 823. Right now, if you own a home, PG&E, and you have an electric vehicle, PG&E will give you a discount off of your current electric rate if you're using that electricity to charge electric vehicle, and a steep discount, which is a great thing. Great program from PG&E. Right. It's very important. Unfortunately, if you live in an apartment complex or other such complexes where you don't have charging infrastructure and you have to charge it at the local Trader Joe's or wherever you find your chargers these days, then you pay the normal electricity rates, which make it a good deal more expensive. And Senate Bill 823, the idea is that if it passes, it's trying to make its way through the Senate now. But if it passes through the Senate and through the Assembly, and of course gets signed by the governor, it will allow people that live in apartment complexes and people don't have access to charging stations. They will give them a card, and they will be able to go to a public charging station and use that card and automatically get the discounted PG&E rate. Or if it's Southern California, it's Southern California Edison, et cetera, et cetera. So that bill is not a done deal yet. It's still got to go through the Senate. It's in the Appropriations Committee last time I heard, but I haven't heard about an update in about a month. And that's got to go through the Assembly and signed by the governor. But there is one such bill, and there are other such bills. I know our Senate and Assembly and the governor are concerned about these things, building out the charging infrastructure and transitioning to electric vehicles. So they are working on it. Sometimes not as fast as one would wish, and there are a lot of hoops to jump through, but it is progress.
So Pete and I have been talking for about 15 minutes, and this is where we take a break for 30 seconds for another public service announcement. But Pete and I will be back in 30 seconds and hopefully answer more of your questions about electric vehicles and other clean energy issues. So come back and see us in 30 seconds.
My name is Rene Montez. I've been using the CPAP machine, I would guess, 10 years. I got so accustomed to it, I don't go anywhere without it. I take it with me everywhere. From the moment I put it on, I thought it was the greatest thing because the breathing was a lot easier, and after using it for a couple nights, I felt a lot of energy. Breathe California is fabulous.
Welcome back. This is Environmental Concerns, a program put on by Breathe California. I'm Terry Trumbull, a volunteer that's been doing this show for 33 years. We run on Monday nights at 7 p.m. in San Jose and Campbell, and 5 times a month for each of the 2 shows we do each month in Santa Cruz County, the entire county. So my guest is Pete Christensen, who's co-director of the Clean Cities program that Breathe California runs. So have you got any areas that we should have talked about already?
I don't think we have enough time to cover those. We do a lot of different things, but thank you for asking me. I do want to point out that before I got there 3.5 months ago with Silicon Valley Clean Cities Coalition, is that they did have special trainings, which is very important for first responders, mainly firefighters, but other first responders in hydrogen vehicles, alternative fuels, and hybrid and electric and plug-in electric vehicles. As there's more and more vehicles on the road, they're going to have to know how to deal with those. There's certain procedures they have to do with hydrogen vehicles and electric vehicles to, keep safe. And that's very important to, and a great example of the great work that we do at Silicon Valley Clean Cities Coalition, and Margot, who is running it, and I'm gradually transitioning in and done a great job over the years doing that type of thing. We're also, by the way, besides working with fleets, we also obviously focus on consumers too. And we have an annual electric vehicle ride and drive event. And I wanted to make sure to talk about that. This will be our 5th annual electric vehicle ride and drive event. And it's coming up on Saturday, August 26th. Again, on Saturday, August 26th, from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and will take place at Lake Cunningham Park in San Jose. Lake Cunningham Park in San Jose. It's going to be a great event. People have the wonderful opportunity to try out an electric vehicle before they ever decide to buy one. They can, and I encourage everybody in the area to come out. It's a beautiful park, and they'll get the opportunity to either ride, or if they rather drive the vehicles, or ride in them if that's what they prefer. But we have a number of dealerships around the county, all over our 5-county area, that are going to be contributing vehicles and supporting us. We really appreciate all the different dealerships, and we'll be sending out flyers throughout our networks, which will list those dealerships once they're all committed. And then also special shout out to the Silicon Valley Electric Vehicle Association and their president, Jerry Pohorsky, who is well known in the area. They are going to bring out a number of electric vehicles for people just to look at, to sit in, to look at, to talk to experts about electric vehicles, look at the engine, so to speak, the battery, and learn more about electric vehicles. So it's going to be a great chance to look at electric vehicles, find out more about how they work, kind of demystify the whole process about what is entailed in driving an electric vehicle. And then they can also, again, drive or ride in a vehicle. And at the same time, we will have booths where they can learn more about electric vehicle rebates and charging, and even solar possibly. And we make it family friendly. There will be a lot of family fun involved. We already have the office of council member Domingo Condeles in San Jose. His district is in the Lake Cunningham Park district. and they are supporting us, and he is going to be available for that event. But we're going to have, music, and we're going to have a food truck, and we're going to have lawn games and face painting and a lot of family fun. So it's going to be a wonderful day. And everybody, please come out. Also, there are other organizations. The city of San Jose supports this event every year through San Jose Clean Energy. That's the community choice aggregate for San Jose, along with the mayor's office and the emerging mobility team. And so the city of San Jose are very, very important, along with the dealerships and many local organizations have all been contributing money and in-kind donations. So we get a lot of community support, and there's generally hundreds of people there. And we'd love to have you all come out. If you go on the Lungs Are Us website, you can look under Silicon Valley Clean Cities Coalition. We'll have a flyer up there within the next month. But you can get a save the date information on that event. And if you want to know more, call me or send me an email. You can find me on the Breathe California, website that is right there.
Well, I can't overemphasize how useful this is. I've been to a couple of these, and there are 5 or 6 different car brands there trying to show off their vehicles. And good news compared to regular car shopping is that they're not aggressively trying to get you to buy a car right there on the spot, so that you can get your questions answered and learn more for when you finally think you're in a spot you want to buy an electric car. So this is a very convenient location.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier, I think the state has set up requirements on getting us to no climate change emissions pretty quickly, and reducing cars burning fossil fuels, big part of it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the Air Pollution Control Board's Advanced Clean Fleets regulation?
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the California Air Resources Board, and it's our Advanced Clean Fleet regulation, which just came out and was finalized, from my understanding, in April, and will come into effect on January 1st, 2024. Now, there's still some input and some back and forth on that, but it is really going to accelerate the transition, bump up by a number of years the state target goals to transition to zero emission vehicles for all this. Now, this is focused on fleets, okay, of course, and that we're talking about public agency fleets as well as private fleets. And it really is going to be, it's a great, it's a great opportunity for all of us. It's really going to help, but it is going to be challenging in the short term, because there's going to be a lot of adjustments. Cities and counties, water districts, sanitation districts, private fleets are going to be having to put in all this charging infrastructure. Everything has to be, also within OSHA, Cal OSHA, Occupational Safety Health Administration. So you can only have a certain amount of distance between vehicles. Electric vehicles, certain vehicles, if they have a battery fire, can take a long time to put out, and you need a place to sequester them, quarantine them, so to speak. And again, I touched briefly on the training of the mechanics, but in listening to the fleet managers who are in the know, especially the wonderful David, he goes by David Worthington, the fleet manager for the county of Santa Clara, who does a great job, and also David Rentschler, who is the fleet manager for the city of Fairfield. There's going to be a lot of adjustments. They're going to have to hire at least one employee to deal with all the regulations and make sure they're all in compliance and fill out the paperwork. They're going to have to hire more mechanics. They're going to have to send these mechanics to various community colleges and junior colleges, other colleges, to get the training done so they know how to repair and maintain electric vehicles. They might have to build new facilities to handle the charging structure. So we just had a webinar that was put on by the Municipal Equipment Maintenance Association, the Northern California Association, a wonderful association that supports public agency fleet managers throughout Northern California and the whole organization throughout the state and throughout the country, from my understanding. And we were able to get that put out to non-MEMA members. They were very generous in allowing that to happen. And we got, for that, the 2 webinars, we have a total of over 150 fleet managers and transportation staff for public and government agencies attend that over 2 days. So, and we're going to be coming up in the future with webinars for private fleets and even for city managers and county supervisors, because this is going to have a huge impact on county and city budgets, and they need to know about this. And Silicon Valley Clean Cities Coalition and all the Clean Cities Coalitions in California are banding together to be out in front of this regulation and help all the public agency and all the private agency fleet managers comply and adapt to these regulations. So we're here throughout. There's like 12 coalitions throughout California. We are definitely there to help, and we'll work hard to make this transition a real thing, because it's a dream come true, essentially, moving to all zero emission vehicles eventually.
So we've got a little over a minute left. I'd like you to take maybe 30 seconds to talk about vehicles that we haven't discussed much. My recollection is that we helped Gilroy Schools get an electric bus. So what about buses, trash trucks, those kind of?
Well, they're all, you know, they all are all important. It's kind of hard to say that in the little time we have left, but we do focus on whether helping them to find grants to get new electric school buses, or help switching if they can't afford that right now and they can't get the grant, they can switch immediately to renewable diesel. And cut down 65 to 70% of their all their emissions. You know, we're doing everything we can. There's electric school bus conversion kits that they can get for about half the price of buying a new vehicle if they want to go that way. We're here to help with the transition to alternative clean fuels and also electric vehicles. So please call us, email us. We're here to support you, whether you work for a government or public agency or private fleet manager or just individual consumer. Call us. And again, if we don't know the answer, we will find it for you and help you out as best we can.
So
thank you.
Pete, thank you very much for being on the show. Our director's given us a wrap sign. So go back and keep up the good work. Thanks again.
Thanks again for having me on the show, Terry. You did great work. I really appreciate it. And it's been a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
All right.